Hello everyone, good Friday. I hope y'all had a great week. Welcome back to Sana IE. It's your host, XO. And man, I was really contemplating this week. Got the phone's ringing. They already calling in, trying to get a request. I really been contemplating this week and this whole month if I should just do one episode a week dealing with the whole mental health, if I should do two. But as y'all can tell, it's Friday and I'm already on the second episode of the week. And I just feel like with mental health, I want to cover the bases. So I would think 2 episodes per week is still what I'll go with. So I'll do it like that. Have the Monday's episode and Friday's episode like I've been doing, just to really make sure I'm really covering the basis of mental health and just speaking about it more and just urging it more. Like in the beginning of the week, I know it's like you getting fresh, ready for the week. So that's why I have the Monday episode to get you that mental guidance for the week, have that your mind right for the week. And then Friday, I know you unwinding, trying to unplug and ready for the weekend. So I have that Friday episode to where you still have the mental health up there and just still giving you that inspiration, that life, that fire to keep grinding and doing what you're doing and still trusting yourself. But man, it's like I said, it's Friday, man. It's been a good week. I'm going to discuss what I learned this week, and it's been a real productive week, man. I'm really grateful for the people that I've been meeting, the people that I've been really associating with, networking with, and just getting me off my feet and really just getting the whole podcast and my whole business endeavors off the ground. I said off the feet, but off the ground and everything. But I'm truly grateful for that, man. If I can help you out in any way, as far as anything you're trying to accomplish goal-wise, or if you're going through anything mentally, or if you just want to reach out and talk and just have lunch, have tea. I mean, you can get coffee, I'm going to get tea. But if you just want to sit down and talk, man, I'm always here to talk and really pick your brain and see what you got going on and how I can help you with anything you're trying to accomplish or anything in life. Even if you just want somebody to talk to, just reach out to me. I'm always open and willing to talk. You can reach out at Sunai Podcast on any social media platform, or you can email me at sunaiepodcast@gmail.com. But yeah, I appreciate y'all, man. Like, if this is your first time to the show, welcome to Sunai. I know I did my little intro, but I appreciate y'all tuning in. And this whole month, I'm really discussing mental health. The mental health is like something big to me. So every episode I'm discussing mental health and ways to improve mental health, the different types of mental health, the different mental illnesses, and really just getting everybody more familiarized with mental health and really taking care of their self and their wellness. Because I believe self-care is healthcare, in my personal opinion. So if you start taking care of yourself, doing the little things, working out, getting some sun in your life, getting that physical activity, having the conversations that you don't want to have, opening up, being vulnerable about what you experience or what you're going through, thinking like you don't want to be judged. Nah, man. If you got something that you're holding inside, you feel like you don't want to be judged or anything, you don't want to look vulnerable or weak or anything, forget about all that, man. Reach out to the people that you know you can confide in and talk to, and the people that can help build you up and uplift you if you're going through anything. We all have the mental problems. We all have different mental states. We all have life issues that we go through, trials and tribulations, tests. And it's just really just you doing in your power, reaching out to the people who you can reach out to and talking to family, talking to friends, having that support system, having the people uplift you and keeping you strong during your hard times, during the trials and tribulations. Because like I said, everybody goes through. You'll be surprised who you reach out to and who can help you. Because like I said, everybody's dealing with the problems, dealing with mental health, dealing with issues, dealing with stuff in their daily lives. So if we all come together as a collective and as a community and really build each other up and talk to each other and confide in each other, that will help out a lot. But on today's episode, it's Friday, man. Had a great week. Been having a lot of meetings this week with my team and really just getting new projects off the ground. I made an investment to a new craft that I'm pursuing. And I'll let y'all know later in the show what that is. But I'm going to give y'all a brief break, and then we're going to get into the quote of the day, what I learned this week, and we're going to finish off with the positive mental health, the mental health aspects, and different ways to improve your mental health. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Sana IE, liking the show, subscribing to the show, reviewing the show. I appreciate y'all. We'll be right back. Quote of the day: if you hit a wall or the door has closed, keep looking until you find the window, for there's always a solution. When it comes to problems in life and issues that we have and roadblocks, there's always a solution to that roadblock. You're probably thinking, no, there's not. Not with this problem I have right now. Trust me, there's always a solution. Changing your mind state from problems to possibilities. Changing from thinking it can be done to it can be done. Having that faith and having that belief, that's where it really starts, just every day. With any roadblock you hit, it's life. We all hit roadblocks. We all hit walls. We all hit doors that are closed, that seem like they'll never open. But if you keep budging, or you find a different way to go about approaching that door, finding a different key or breaking down that door, it's about having that belief within yourself. And just keep looking for that solution, because the solution is there to the problem. You just have to really be looking and don't be defeated because you got shut down one time. You're going here, if you're trying to make a sale or build your business, build your brand, you got to learn to embrace the no's, embrace the walls that you hit, the closed doors, embrace that and use it as fuel to keep going, to find your solution, finding that key, finding that answer to what you want to accomplish and what you're trying to accomplish. If you get discouraged by one no, you're in the wrong business or the wrong field of doing anything you're trying to do. Don't let that no discourage you. Let that no encourage you to become greater than what the no is. Look back at this as you laughing at the no, because it's like a lot of people get told no at first. Netflix, Blockbuster told Netflix no, and guess who's in business now and guess who's not. So that's what it all comes down to, and I just try to use that as a quick reference because that's what I've been seeing a lot. Lately it was the Blockbuster and Netflix whole thing. Blockbuster didn't want to buy Netflix, and now, like I said, you see who's in business. But that's how it goes down to. There's always going to be a no. There's always going to be a wall. There's always going to be a closed door. Of course, there's going to be nothing comes easy, and it's about the journey and not the destination. So embrace the journey, embrace the no's, embrace the hate, embrace the criticism, embrace the hard times, embrace the closed doors and all that. Just keep looking for that solution, keep finding that solution and making your way through and fighting your way through the no's, the closed doors, because on the other side, you're going to feel like a whole weight lifted off your shoulders if you just keep trying, keep going, and having that energy, having that faith, and having that belief in yourself that you can accomplish anything. Once you have that I can accomplish anything mindset, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, stuff like that. Tell yourself affirmations and really just change the whole mental. A switch will flip and everything will get out your way. So once again, the quote is, if you hit a wall or the door has closed, keep looking until you find the window, for there's always a solution. There's always a solution. Remember that. To anything, there's always a solution. We're going to get on to what I learned this week. One of the things I learned is enjoy the little things, the little moments, the priceless moments, the moments of getting up, getting dressed, getting ready for work, brushing your teeth. Enjoy that moment of brushing your teeth, having that running water, that warm water, being able to have a roof over your head, having that pillow, having that bed, having AC, a heater. Just enjoy the little things. Like people sending prayers out to the people in Nashville and that dealt with the tornado, and this week it's like, it's tough, but you really have to enjoy the little things and that you have in life. Because some people, what you take for granted, some people are really praying for, really want. So enjoy the little things. That's what I'm starting to learn. Enjoy the little things. Enjoy the precious moments that you have, and just really just enjoy life, every second, every minute of it. Another one is always have a plan. I was discussing, this came from me talking with my mentor. He chewed me out because I didn't have a plan for something. I'm always have stuff planned out, but I'm going to an event in 2 weeks, a few weeks. I'm going to be discussing it, and of course I'm going to have a podcast episode on it. But he was discussing, did I have a plan for this whole event I was going to? And I was like, nah, I was just going to wing it, really. And then when it comes to being in business, being a businessman as myself, which he put into perspective, he's like, you got to have a plan for anything and everything you're trying to accomplish, especially with being in a business. and the age that I'm at, it's like I can't come off. He was basically put it, you can't go do what you're about to do. That's like college, that's college senior stuff. You're a businessman now. You got to come prepared and planned and have everything all planned out, which is understandable, especially when you're trying to make a brand, a name for yourself. Presentation is everything. Having a plan is everything. Having that structure is everything. So always have a plan for anything and everything you're trying to accomplish. If you don't have a plan, like they say, life will plan it, have a plan for you. So plan your life and don't let life plan it for you. Another thing is trust the actions and not the words. That's what I'm learning this week, because a lot of people will speak on what they can do, but it's better if they show you what they can do instead of letting them speak, because anybody can talk. Everybody can talk. We have one mouth and two ears. It's not for nothing. So trust the actions, not the words. People love to talk. I'd rather see what you can do than tell me what you can do. So, and that really goes back to just really everything, because I feel like a lot of people just talk. Like, nah, just let the action speak for the words. Let the action speak for anything that you're trying to do. The talking is out, man. It's enough talking. It's 2020, man. So trust the actions and not the words. Man, we're going to get into the positive mental health and the aspect. I'm really like loving discussing this mental health, just everything about mental health, me learning it as I'm going on, just doing all the research, checking out the different early warning signs that I'm really peeping for as I'm talking to friends, family, as I'm associating with coworkers, partners, and just different people. I'm looking at the early warning signs just to make sure everybody's in a good mental state, a good mental frame. When I do, this came to my head right now. When I build my business and build my brand and just have my office, I think I'm gonna have a mental health mornings always, so we all can have just open discussions about anything we're dealing with, as well as taking like open walks within nature, getting them sun rays, getting them early morning rays, or bike riding, just little stuff like that. So give my team just that inspiration, and just always have them just being there for them mentally. But that's just a side note. But positive mental health allows people to realize their full potential, cope with the stresses of life, work productively, make meaningful contributions to the communities, realize their full potential, especially having a positive mindset, a positive mental health, a positive mind frame. That allows you to realize how powerful you truly are, how powerful your mind is when you have a good, healthy mind, when you have a positive mindset. You realize what you can accomplish and what you can do. And it also, like I said, copes with the stresses of life. And you cope with different life stresses, different life problems, different life tests, dealing with everything. Because like I said, we all go through the daily life struggles. And you having a positive mindset, you know that what I like to tell myself, a few things is, this too shall pass, or my current situation isn't my final destination. So if you're dealing with the stresses of life, the trials and tribulations, the hard times, having that positive mindset helps you overcome them stresses. Versus having a negative mindset, I feel like them stresses, they pull you in, they pull you back, and they pull you down. Positive mental health helps you work productively. Being productive, having that positive mindset, having that positive juices flowing in you. You always want to be working and grinding and keeping yourself occupied so you can build your mental health and build the mental aspects. More meaningful contributions to the communities. When you're having a positive mindset, a positive mind frame, just always positive, that gravitates people towards you. People start gravitating towards you and want that positive energy, want that positive influence in their lives. They want you to help them help them accomplish their goals, help them accomplish little tasks, just help them, and you can help each other. And it's just like that, having that positive mind frame, that positive mind state, you can make a contribution to the community, as in you can help people that's dealing with negative problems, dealing with negative mind frame, dealing with negative mental health. You can help them out, uplift them. It's like, oh, you're dealing with this? Well, this is how I dealt with it, or this is how I'm dealing with it, or I know a person who can help you get through this. So we all can help each other make the meaningful contributions when you have that positive mind state and positive mental health. But if you having that negative mental health, negative mind frame, and just like it goes deeper than just doing the little things, because there is, like I discussed last, so the PTSD, the schizophrenia, the seasonal. Okay, I gotta double check on my notes, but I know the abbreviation is SAD, like basically seasonal. Dang, I forgot the A word, but I'll get it. Disorder, which is where people are depressed because they have no sunlight in their country, and that the gloom and all that brings down the depression. Like, it goes deeper than just doing the different affirmations, but it happens one day at a time, 1 minute at a time, as you keep going and progressing through life, just doing positive things that really influence the positive side of you. Getting some sunlight. Getting sunlight is very vital. You don't think it's vital? Getting sunlight is very vital. Getting physical activity, being physical, out there running, out there even doing push-ups, jumping jacks, sit-ups, anything, getting any physical activity, biking, cycling, hiking, just getting out there and just really getting your mind flowing, getting the blood flowing, and just having that positive, that energy going about you to where you're like, okay, I'm building up. And if you do this on a daily basis, if you're in a negative state and you feel like you have like that bad mental health, it'll slowly help. And as well as talking to people, talking within your communities, and reaching out to people, and just reaching out to different groups. Like, there's support groups for these days, everything. So if you feel like you personally don't have a support system, start going to these support groups and really just building up with the peers around you, and just getting to know people and what they've been through. Everybody's been through the same majority of the same things, I want to say, but somebody's been through what you're going through. If you're going through any hard times, or you feel like you have any mental health issues, it's a journey with mental health, and it's a roller coaster. There's ups and downs, but if you really apply yourself, and not necessarily apply yourself, but look for the help that you need, that you can get, because the help is out there that can help you. Ways to maintain positive mental health. Getting professional help if you need it. We're just discussing that. Having support groups, talking to different type of therapists about that, and just like I said, reaching out to people who you think may have went through or going through the same thing you're going through. Connecting with others, the support group. Staying positive. A lot of people say, yeah, that's easier said than done. Yeah, it's easier said, but if you really apply yourself and you really want to maintain a positive mental health, you'll do the right things. You'll make it happen. You'll find the professional help if you need the professional help. You'll connect with the others, getting the support group, getting the support from others and peers and everything, and really just building yourself up mentally, getting that sunlight, getting that exercise, talking about what you're going through. Put yourself in that vulnerable place. Be vulnerable. Open up, and don't keep it closed in. Keeping it closed in is just only a time-ticking bomb. And if you don't let nobody know what's going on with you, it's only going to have repercussions in a way. So if you're dealing with something and you just felt like it's easier to keep it in, it's not. It may be easy now, but it's really hurting you on the long run. So open up, talk to people, confide in people, and just really connect with others about what you're going through. Being physically active. Physically active has a big key. Staying active, you can't be sad or have no bad mind state. When you're active, you're doing stuff, you're out in the sun, you're in the gym. Being active, physically active, that brings joy, happiness. It gets the blood flowing, the juices flowing, your brain starts getting the positive energy, the positive vibe. So staying active, even if it's just like walking 10 to 15 minutes a day. Walking within nature does a whole lot for the brain. Walking, hearing the birds chirp, no cell phone, put your cell phone away. Just walking, no music, and just listening to your surroundings, the people around you, to life around you. As well as helping others is a big one. Once you help somebody else, you feel like you get that positive joy. You give them your energy, your positivity, and they'll want to still gravitate towards you and really adapt with you. Getting enough sleep is a big thing. That's how you maintain the positive mental health. And that's big, because I know the recommended sleep time is 8 hours, but some of us, we probably get 6 to 8 or even less. But having enough sleep really does good for the mental health, does good for the brain, as well as developing coping skills, learning how to cope with what you're going through, as well as helping somebody else. You may be going through a test right now, but it'll eventually be a testimony in the long run. So learn if you're being tested with your mental health or anything mentally, there's people out there to help as well as me. I'm here to assist and help any way I can. I'll connect you with the right people or look for the right people to connect you with, either way. And just so I'm always here to help, even if you just want to talk and vent and just really just need somebody to talk to. I'm always here to talk, non-judging. I'm always an open-minded person, so we can talk. We can see how we can help you go about getting better, because I want everybody in the world to have great, positive mental health. And I think personally it should be a class taught in the curriculum and taught from elementary school all the way through college. Just having a mental health class and really having, like, it should be a mandatory class to have, because everything starts with your mental health. So, but, man, I'm going to give y'all a brief break, and then I'm going to get back to it, finish up. I got some myth and facts about mental health that I've been reading about. So, and give y'all a break, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in. And I just really, like, mental health is like a big thing to me. But we're going to get back to it, man. I'll give y'all a break, and we're going to get right back. Myth versus facts on mental health. Myth. Mental health doesn't affect me. Mental health affects everybody. It's mental health. But no, it's a fact. Mental health problems are very common. 1 in 5 adults experience a mental health issue. 1 in 10 young people experience a period of major depression. And 1 in 25 Americans live with a serious mental illness, such as schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, or major depression. So 1 in 5 adults experience mental health issues. Then 1 in 10 young people experience a period of major depression. And 1 in 10 young people experience major depression. I think childhood trauma or trauma in your childhood goes deep. Even if you growing up in an abusive household, growing up where you don't really have a household, you're just living on the streets, and all that plays a factor in your mental health in the long run as you grow up, as you age, as you come into your own person within society. So me personally, like I've been saying, I think mental health should be taught in elementary school, in middle school, in high school, in college, and just so on and so on, because mental health is like a big issue and a big factor. And there's a lot of ways, in my opinion, to prevent the mental health from becoming a negative connotation. I got some more myth and facts, but it said 1 in 25 Americans lived with a serious mental illness, like I said, such as schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, or major depression. So that's why I encourage, like, always be nice, open, loving to one another, to the people around you, the people you see, the people you meet, even the less fortunate that you see on the streets, man. Speak to people, say hi to people. We're all human beings at the end of the day. We're all fighting battles that you don't know, or I don't know, that anyone's dealing with. So always be nice, always be kind to somebody, and just, like, see how they're doing, check on them, and don't just basically walk past them like they don't exist or they don't matter, because that's not solving the problem of creating positive mental health or positive, loving mental state. Another fact: suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in the United States. It counts from the loss of more than 41,000 lives each year, more than double that of the number of lives lost to homicide. So 41,000 people a year or plus commit suicide. That's what I'm saying. Be kind to each other. You never know, like, what somebody's really dealing with on the inside. They may have a rough home, a rough household, not ever experienced love, never experienced somebody having that time spent with them, dedicated to them. And who and don't be that person to just write them off. If they're dealing with something, if they don't come from the same ethnic background as you, or if they don't dress like you, if they're not in the same social class as you, always treat everybody with kindness and respect, and just love one another, and just see how people are doing. Don't just walk past somebody like they don't matter, because we're all human beings and we're all fighting or dealing with something, or we may be happy. You never know what you may learn from when you introduce or talk to somebody about what they're going through. I was interviewing a friend, and she'll be on Monday's episode. Her episode, man. We were talking and we discussing it, and we have a great episode for Monday, man. Tune in on Monday. Monday's episode will be great, and I just feel like this interview I'm about to have with her and what we discuss and what we will discuss is just like, it's powerful and it's gripping, and I feel like it just really opens the door for the mental health issues and aspects. And I will have more guests on my show this month, discussing different mental health issues, discussing their mental health journey, discussing what they've been through, what they witnessed, and just everything. Because I feel like the talk needs to happen. And hey, I'm gonna start the talk. I'm starting the talk now, so I'm really trying to reach out to as many people as I can to really just open the eyes to mental health and the issues of mental health. On another note, this number, I'm repeating every episode, 1-800-273-8255. 1-800-273-8255. That's a suicide prevention lifeline. If you feel like you need somebody to talk to personally, or you feel like you're on the edge, or you feel like you don't know what to do or where to go, call that person. Not call that person, but call the lifeline. Talk to them. Or if you feel like you know somebody that wants to harm themselves or hurt others, have them call that line. It's all needed. Anything helps. Any gesture helps. So that's why I that's why I put out the number, just so you can raise awareness in case somebody's dealing with the suicide, want to commit suicide, or, like I said, harm themselves. Okay. Back to I'm getting off, but back to the myth and facts. Children don't experience mental health problems. That's a myth. Young children, they experience mental health early. They show early warning signs of mental health concerns. Half of all mental health disorders show first signs before a person turns 14. And 3/4 of mental health disorders begin before the age of 24. So it's at half of mental health disorders show first signs before the age of 14. That's why I want to, I think mental health should be discussed and be a class in school. We have physical education, we have sex education. Why not have mental health education in class for children that's dealing with this stuff, especially on a daily basis? Because mental health is a big issue, and everything starts in the brain. And especially kids that's dealing with different aspects, different things of life, trying to find who they are in life. I think they should have that class. That class should be taught. It said first signs on mental health disorders show first signs before the age of 14. So, like, a lot of mental health disorders can be caught before the age of 14. So I think, like I was saying, it should be taught in class, or as adults, as peers, as role models, as who we are. We should be teaching our kids about mental health as well, and let them know about mental health, different signs of mental health, and different sides of life and signs of life, and just a little different stuff they'll deal with. Because we personally, I'm just thinking about my godson personally. I don't have no kids yet, but I'm just thinking about, you never know what they're dealing with on a daily basis at school with friends, who their friends they're talking to. You never know if they're getting bullied or not, because kids like to keep things to themselves, and that's where I think it starts. They don't want to feel vulnerable, they don't want to seem weak, or maybe they don't know how to voice how they feel or what they feel or what they're going through until it gets to that boiling point, and parents sometimes don't even know until the kid reaches that boiling point, or something, God forbid, bad happens. But I think at the end of every day, I think the kid and the parent should always have that talk about how the kid's day went and what they're dealing with, how they're feeling, and just stuff like that, just checking on the kid's mental health. You can see the physical health, but you never know what's going on in the kid's head or what they're dealing with on a daily basis. So me, when I can always try to talk to my godson and see how he's feeling, see what he's dealing with, and just stuff like that. Because like I said, you never know what somebody's dealing with in their head or going through as a kid, as well as an adult. As an adult, it's more, I say, it's more tough to open up because you, like I said, you don't want to feel vulnerable, you don't want to seem weak, or you don't want to be judged. But it's like, man, fuck all that, dead ass. Like, open up. Say how you feel. Speak on how you feel. Don't hold nothing in. Don't have no resentment. Get it off your chest. If you feeling some type of way, if your mind is just playing tricks on you and you just can't seem to get positive, think positive, you always just have the negative mindset, the negative energy, negative shit just always happens to you. See how you can flip that switch, reach out to people, talk to people, let them know what you're dealing with, because you never know who's dealt with that, the negative sides of mental health, the negative phases, the mental health journey, the mental health illnesses. Just reach out to people and talk to them. Man. Let's keep on going. I was just like, man, I'm just really like I said, I'm really intrigued about mental health, and learning mental health has really just been big to me. And I'm just really trying to learn as much as I can about it so I can just spread the awareness and let other people know how they can deal with it and just really educate them in that, as far as that aspect. But we're going to keep on going. People with mental health problems are violent and unpredictable. That's a myth. Fact is, the vast majority of people with mental health problems are no more likely to be violent than anyone else. Most people with mental illness are non-violent, and 35% of the violent acts can be attributed to individuals living with a serious mental illness. I don't think people with mental health problems are violent and unpredictable, simply because anybody, like I said, anyone else can be violent. So most people with mental illness are not violent and don't contribute to violent acts, unless, I want to say, provoked in a way. But people, in fact, people with severe mental illnesses are over 10 times more likely to be victims of violent crimes than the general population. See? That's where it comes going to loving each other. People with mental illnesses, people with bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, PTSD, anything of that nature, like, they're more likely to become a victim than be the opposer. So that's when it comes to us with just being contributing and showing love to one another, and just really showing that compassion to, oh, they're a human too, I'm a human too. You never know. Put yourself in their shoes before you try to attack them or degrade them or discourage them or just like put them down or anything. They always say, don't judge a book by its cover, and that's for a simple reason. Like, don't judge nobody just off of appearance. They can be going fighting demons or fighting the world and just like feel like they're really on the edge, and you saying, oh, you ugly, or I don't like your shoes, or something like that, can push them really over the edge. And we don't need that. You feel me? We got to show love for each other and love one another versus having that hate in our heart. Like, we got to drive hate out with love. That's the only way we all win, is with love instead of hate. Man. Ooh-wee. People with mental health needs, even those who are managing their mental illnesses, cannot tolerate the stress of holding down a job. That's a myth. Fact is, people with mental health problems are just as productive as other employees. Employers who hire people with mental health problems report good attendance and punctuality, as well as motivation, good work, and job tenure of par with or greater than other employees. When employees with mental health problems receive effective treatment, it can result in lower total medical costs, increased productivity, lower absenteeism, and decreased disability costs. So, You think people with mental health illnesses will surprise you, and especially in the work field. Like I said, you never know what they're going through, but they can really apply themselves, and we all can apply ourselves. But people with mental illnesses, it's just like maybe it's an extra hurdle for them to get over with. So if we ourselves dedicate our time, our compassion, our love, and just help them out with their issues, with their journey, and not judge them for it or put them down for it, we all can grow as a community, as a collective. But learning about this mental health, everything, that's why I'm just like, me personally, always show love to anybody and everybody and give love, because that's the best thing versus trying to like just put somebody down, discourage anybody, and not really just showing the love for them. Everybody's dealing with something. Everybody's going through something. We all have mental health issues. We may have a family member that went through a mental health issue or just dealing with a mental health issue, and we personally don't know how to deal with it, but it's always good to get the education in it. And I'll keep preaching this or saying this, but mental health should always be a class, or should be a class in every grade and every level, because you deal with a lot of stuff on a mental daily basis, and it really shapes how you grow. And childhood traumas really shape how the mental illness go. And I think I'm gonna get more into that on next Friday's episode. Like I said, Monday's episode, I'm gonna have my guest come on, my friend Bosma. We had a great episode coming for y'all, man. Appreciate her coming on. But next Friday's episode, I'm gonna touch bases on the childhood traumas and just going through how the childhood shapes the mental state throughout the years of life. So it all starts with the children, man. So if you have kids, or if you do any work with kids, man, I appreciate you, because that's where it starts. The future, that's the future right there. So if you listen to this right now, try to do some mental health exercises with the kids that you babysit, that you nanny, or that you're a teacher. Listen to this and just do the mental health exercises for kids, because you never know what a kid is going through on a daily basis, what they deal with in the household. A lot of kids keep stuff to themselves and don't know really how to open up and express. So you can always do your part and just talk to them, just have a conversation with them, and they'll eventually open up. But I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. It's been a great episode. It's Friday. I know y'all like, man, it's the weekend. I'm trying to go out, relax, unwind, hit happy hour, whatever it is, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Sanai, I'm here. It's gonna be a long weekend for me. A lot of work to get done. Gotta finish editing up stuff. I did discuss a new investment I made. Purchased a camera, and I was just really wanting to get back doing my photography, so I had to go about that, and that's what I'm working on as I go on. I'm really just building my portfolio and just taking pictures. So if you need a photographer, holla at your boy. But this episode, doing a recap, I discussed the quotes of the day. The quote of the day, and that is, man, I'm gonna hit y'all with the bonus quote, because I did have two quotes, but I just jumped to the second one because I was so hype about this mental health, I'll be skipping stuff. So first quote or the bonus quote, end of the show quote. That's what I'm gonna start doing, the beginning of the show quote and the end of the show quote. Bow. Y'all heard it first, heard it live. And this quote is, to establish true self-confidence, we must concentrate on our successes and forget about the failures and the negatives in our lives. Dog started barking, had to get them calm and situated. But, quote, again, to establish true self-confidence, we must concentrate on our successes and forget about the failures and the negatives in our lives. Focus on winning. Focus on how you won. What'd you go about winning? How you became successful in a certain area of your life, or a certain goal that you achieved, how you got successful in that. And as well as forget about the failures and the negatives, but also learn from those failures and those negatives. Don't let them hold you down or hold you back. Because we all have them failures or the negatives that we replay in our head from our past, and it does nothing but it makes us dwell and brings us deeper into that sunken place versus concentrating on the successes. That's how you build your self-confidence in yourself. Focus on the wins that you did, how you overcame. Maybe you overcame a depressive state. Maybe you overcame a breakup. Maybe you overcame getting fired or terminated from a job. Focus on the successes, the wins, the positives instead of the failures, the negatives, and that doesn't build true self-confidence in yourself. Focusing on the failures and the negatives does nothing but diminishes your character and your mind state and your mind frame. So, to establish true self-confidence, we must concentrate on our successes and forget about the failures and the negatives in our lives. The negatives and the failures, learn from them and forget about them. Learn, write down, I learned this, learn that. Now move on, move forward, and focus on winning. Focusing on that negative, it doesn't do nothing for you. The beginning of the show quote was, if you've hit a wall or the door has closed, keep looking until you find the window for there's always a solution. There's always a solution to every problem. There's always a solution. Tell yourself that every time. Anytime you have a problem, there's always a solution. Every time you come to a closed door, there's always a solution. Anytime you come to a wall or a no or nothing, there's always a solution. Discuss what I learned this week. Enjoy the little things in life. Always have a plan. Trust the actions and not the words. We talked about the positive mental health, ways to maintain positive mental health, and we discussed the myths and the facts of mental health, some of the myths and some of the facts of mental health. And if you, like I said, if you know anybody that's dealing with anything mentally and you can just tell, but you don't want to talk to them about it, don't do that. If you can tell somebody's dealing with something, ask them about it or see if you can find somebody who can help them out. And that's where it really starts, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in to the show. If you're dealing with anything, like I said, you can reach out to me. I'll connect you with the right people. I have a few people that is in the field of psychology and dealing with mental health and working towards achieving their master's and bachelor's in mental health. And I will be gladly able to connect you with them so you can get the assistance that you need. And as far as if you have any other questions about the show, any reviews, any comments, or any concerns, at me at Sanai Podcast on gmail.com. At gmail.com. At Sanai Podcast at gmail.com is for the email. And for the social media, Sanai Podcast. You can hit me up, slide in the DMs, and just I'm always open to talk. Always open to knowing what you want to know, what you're dealing with, how you're doing. And if you need my help with anything, I'll be glad to help. But I appreciate y'all tuning in. Sanai, it's Friday. Have a great weekend. We coming back again on Monday with a great show. And man, enjoy yourselves. Take care of yourselves. Self-care is healthcare. We out.